All right, here we go. Game number one, Golden Guardians versus Movistar Rainbow 7 R7. Has surprised everyone to get here first. North Latin American team to make it to this stage or to win an invitational. Win it. All right, here we go. Game number one, we've got R7 versus Golden Guardians. Of course, both of these teams winning their first international event or matchups to get here. The winner of this will make it into the group stage. Oh, River with this sick BM right here. They're just going right next to each other like, no, we're not touching. He's just doing Loud because Loud knocked him out last time, right? Wow, this, okay. Where's the competitive integrity here? All right, so they're doing a little dance. That's a little nod to each other, actually. River and Audie. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at the teams. We've got Malphite, Kennen, a very common matchup up here. Kennen, of course, has the counter pick here, but Malphite has the strength into the meta, into the matchups, right? Looking for that Aphelios, trying to blow him up. Annie's going to be trying to shield him. We're going to see Ari and Vi try to zone. Kennen's going to try to blow up their backline if they go for it. But Zeri and Rakan being super, super mobile will have the advantage of being able to skirt around potentially the Kennen engage. And we'll see, like you see the game plan for R7 is very clearly team fight. You've got Lissandra, Malphite, Wukong ultimates, all combination lockups meant to take over a big fight, and then Rakan to set them up and Zeri to clean house afterwards. And Aphelios is what you want into that, right? You say, I want the longest range, highest burst, most flexible champion. Doesn't have any mobility to speak of, but you position behind your team. You say, I'm far enough away. Let's see what you guys are willing to do. Now, Huhi kind of ribbing at them right now, saying, did you guys really just let us win the lane down here? You would not expect this from Annie Aphelios to win against Zeri Rakan. Now, Zeri, doesn't have the best lane phase. They've taken away enough of her early poking power, and the range on the Q has gone down, but still no slouch. And with the Rakan, right, the engage favors them, especially while Annie has no charges up. And you see Ari getting a really good trade on Miru there in the middle lane. So, yeah, the combination is going to be Lissandra, Wukong. Look for them to basically kind of sit still until level 6. Wukong's not going to have enough pressure to really combine. You see the normal, the preferred combination of Ari and Vi on Golden Guardians here. And you're saying, all right, we'll see your Ari Vi and we'll raise you a Lissandra because Lissandra's going to do exceptionally well into the Ari. So you do end up with this weird dynamic where they're a little bit weaker pre-6. Ari and Vi are going to be stronger there up until that point. But post-6, the team fighting, no question, going to favor R7 here. And we'll see how much Kennen is able to jump ahead of this Malphite. If he's able to get a 20-30 CS lead pre-10 minutes and is able to turn that into an item lead where they can actually take over, then maybe you see something here. Now let's look at the fight. We see flashes. Oh my god, so beautiful. River with the Q flash, getting the Lissandra to step over the minions, right? That little bump was enough to get them over the minions, which meant that the charm was going to hit every single time. So Gory did not have to give away anything for that gank to work. Beautifully played by River to make it happen. Now, they also do chase Wukong out of the jungle, but Wukong was able to win the smite there. And River, seemingly unexhaustible source of BM there, just keeps on showing them the Loud logo. Be like, hey, this team's actually better than you are. All right, let's see if we get a combination here. Nice little combo CC. Big chunk of damage coming out, and beautiful. They get one more attack. That's going to be enough. Pop. Huhi with the beautiful roam, and Gory is going to have a tremendous lead in the mid lane. This is exactly not how you wanted to start the game with R7. Lissandra's supposed to be a point of strength here. All right, so now we have winning mid lane, winning top lane, and winning bottom lane. Golden Guardians giving the international treatment to R7. This is normally what happens to NA teams, so I'm actually glad to see them press the envelope a little bit and say, hey, we want to flex it. We want to practice trying to win these lanes against the weaker teams. We expect to win this match. Let's get stronger in lane and prepare ourselves for the next round. Hopefully this is an investment in the future. I really like this play so far by Golden Guardians. All three lanes, proactive, being aggressive. This is how you play. And they get the potion. It's like an extra 50 gold on that kill. No, that might have just been refillable, right? All right, let's see. How are we going to move the game? Well, we've got a tremendous early lead, so expect Vi to take the dragon. She can take it as early as level 4, but much better at level 5. We're going to want to see this flamethrower used bottom by the Aphelios to push for prio, but probably not quite yet. Only a couple charges left on that gun, so might try to go for a splash and root combination. River flying all over the map. They're winning against the Malphite as well, which is going to translate into another plate here. Now, what they will do is set up a proxy. Heavy push this lane right now. Look at that by Vi. So good, right? They're sharing the resource. Not even sharing the resources. Setting up the resource. You share the XP. You give the gold. You give all the gold to Kennen for the plate. Now Kennen's going to have this wonderful situation. No wave to deal with. And now Vi gets to come back on the map. The problem is that the play got sussed out. R7 does collect a dragon for themselves, which means that Vi's going to be playing bottom to top and looking for Herald instead. Now, when you are snowballing the early game, you do not need to turn it into dragons. You can let the other team waste their energy on it, and you can just go after structures, right? You can just go for these early wins, create these skirmishes, and get a turret advantage lead. Now, this will be the big fight so far of the game. A chance for Wukong to turn it around. Gets the smite, so he hits 6, which means he's got the ultimate. Vi is incapable of getting away, uses the blast cone to pop him, and who he has just enough. All right. So I gotta say, River needs to be onto that, right? No reason to take that one in the bush. You don't know where the Wukong is, and they were just strong on this side of the map. You have to expect that they might be trying to contest you here. Loses the smite fight, ends up having to smite Krugs to get back into this, but Wukong gaining a tremendous advantage there for himself. And all this action by River, right? Wukong's been farming up. He's turned it into a Sheen for himself, buying slightly later, which makes sense. Vi's going to try to slingshot ahead in momentum, flying again to this top of the map. Let's see if we see the Annie come over. It does look like she's coming. So who he's here. Now, Leon's is also on his way. So we're going to potentially get a 4v4 here. The shape of the fight, right? Think about what it's going to be. You've got the spearhead of Vi. You've got the snow cone of Kennen, right? They're kind of setting up this positional front, hammer to anvil sort of position. They don't have a traditional front line, although Vi is reasonably tanky at this point. Level 6, she's only got the Caulfield's Warhammer and a Ruby Crystal, but just base stats and a shield is good enough at this level to survive, which means that there is no contest. Leon ends up going straight back to bottom, and, they invested 6 wards and 4 champions time to come get this. In the meantime, Aphelios was not brought over to midwave. He was stuck just leeching in bot, where it's his job to just not die. And to give up the minimum. If it's possible, give up the minimum. And in this case, doing a great job last hitting even. Jeez, this is a complex combination. He gets them all. The pros are good. They do that like the back of their hand, but even the tough situations can be tough. He's able to get all of them. So maybe Stixay is dialed in. Now, 3k gold lead and Rift Herald in hand means that we're going to set up for a counter gank up in the top lane. And with the 3 plates down, this makes a lot of sense to go here. If you get this cleanly without using ultimates, then you can even rotate the Kennen over. Now, I like what the Kennen's doing, going and faking like he's going to get some vision. Could have been a little bit of a gambit here. They're going to go with the ultimate too. The upside of using the ultimate here is that you also clear the wave. So even though the kill might have been had without, expect them to go take this plate. Once the first plate is down, they'll channel the Rift Herald. They'll take another half plate and watch the entire turret go down, claiming first brick for themselves. I love that they're using the lingering vision here afforded to them from the Herald play. All right, there we go. We got enough. Now, I would have liked them to see them actually clear, unless this wave is very specifically giving them exactly something or enough to shop or finish this call-in shop, for example. I would have preferred them to see the stack the wave against themselves, but they want the Herald to push in. It does get the charge off. That is permanent damage. That matters. Kennen left with one stack on the call, had to stick around for that wave, pushes it in. Now he's going to have a big shop. Now he received Lysandra is stronger than Ahri at this point, just based on their mechanics. However, with both going Merc Treads, neither one is really going to be threatening the other tremendously. They're looking just to get enough pressure to move inside out. And now we see blue buff being transferred over. This is a game changer for Lysandra, right? Her Q cost is not negligible, but when you can go to your wave and just press Q, E, W, clear the whole thing, then you're very happy. All right, Ahri getting the push in mid allows River the comfort to get into the river. Step up, they're taking advantage of this space, right? You get the push, you get good recall timing in back, you get Ahri to get the push up front, and Kennen to disappear off the map. All of that means that you're able to step into the jungle. Now, Vi's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable soon, right? Because that mid wave has matched, still no one has been bought, so ends up for just a very shallow trip onto the beach of the enemy jungle. And look at this. They're investing all these wards. They are definitely trying to set up for this fight. Kennen's ultimate will be up, is up, and a teleport is up as well. Although it is not unleashed yet, so expect him to just push one more wave. And if Malphite shows, they'll probably just concede the dragon and take the top turret. Malphite doing a little head fake here, showing up mid, making sure that he is revealed, right? Make sure that you're seen, and then go back top, which might give some misinformation. So I like this play, right? A small little deviation to gain a little bit of tempo. Now you do have Kennen versus Malphite, which Kennen's going to be happy in this situation, right? You leave or you don't. Kennen's going to be happy. If the Malphite does leave, they will seed the dragon. Either way, Kennen's going to be getting significant damage on this play. I would have liked to see Malphite just kind of show, or I do want to see him just show, clear, and then get back to the pit. But it looks like they're not even going to go for it. Maybe a concession to how far behind they truly are, right? No reason to kind of stick into this situation. But you got to get a play somewhere, right? You need to actually rotate lanes around to get a position of strength. And Zeri by herself is just not that. Rakan taking a second back timer after unloading his wards. Not able to make an effect on this part of the map. Now, does Stixay go for the hard freeze? Probably not. Probably not, because they've got the lead and they've got 1 minute left. They want to make a proactive play. They'd like to push up mid again. Now, Gory, when you are rooted like that by Lysandra, she does have an animation that freezes you up. It is a potential to hit that charm. You are not stunned. You are just rooted. So when the ultimate comes out, different story. But when they root you in place, you can almost definitely hit that charm. Now, River being spotted out by the ward. Seo getting another ward down just in case. But you see how important the bush priority is here. Vi coming to hang out to help with the push, right? This is something you have to do, especially support's got important things to do too. They're roaming. It can be up to the Vi to say, hey, I'm coming. My presence here allows me to be like a support to you, and it lets you push in this wave despite being in a 1v2 apparent situation. And so Aphelios is going to get all this extra CS, all this extra experience for himself. Really being shadowed by two different people means that Rakan and Zeri are never really looking to try to get on him. Now, we haven't seen Wukong just do a lane gank, right? The wards have always been in the bushes. Either that or Aphelios has pushed up the wave. So there hasn't really been good opportunity for R7 to get a path where this Wukong can go in through the lane. Now, it does very much feel like they've just been doing static gameplay choices. R7's just kind of going through the motions. They haven't made a single thing for themselves. And that is usually a huge detriment to your team. That is not how you play to win. It's how you play not to lose. And they might be thinking, hey, we're stronger later. But still, even when you're stronger later, you want to make some proactive decisions. You just do the one that's opposite to them. You make it reactive. You say, hey, you're going to make a play on Dragon. We're going to go send numbers. We're going to rotate and have 45 seconds of plus numbers somewhere. But they're opting not to do that. They're very much just staying in the same spots. We finally see the rotation. After 14 minutes, Zeri is returned to the mid lane. And we'll see if we get some sandwich fights here, right? You've got Malphite and Lissandra both clearing sideways, both capable of flanking. Wukong able to get in from crazy good angles. So is Lissandra, honestly. And so we'll see if they turn this mid situation into a sort of collapse. But again, they're going to say, all right, Aphelios is our weak point. We can just give him a little bit of shelter, give him some good wards, let him be alone. Let Annie go with Vi and combine across the map. And the two of these have become a murder squad. And really, Golden Guardians playing up-tempo, playing aggressive. They are looking really, really good in this match. And I really, not looking good for R7. Oh, nice job by Ari baiting out the attempt at the eyeball hit, saying, hey, I can hit you for half your damage while you're waiting there. And does. So that means Ari's first to move. Malphite stuck under turret. Does Malphite not have points in his E? Excuse me. I'll try to catch a peep on that. Licorice now, because of the matchup, right, went with full points in Q. You don't always necessarily have to go full points in the Q. The wave clear is better with the W max and the E. The E giving you the move speed, of course, to get into the fights as well. That's the one thing I don't like about this build, is that, yes, you've put 5 points into Q to help crush the Malphite. I would have preferred just to see 3 and then start transitioning into the move speed, because it is paramount that you're able to find this right fight. Now, if the plan is, hey, we just expect them to dive into us, and we're always going to get whatever fight we want, then I can see less of a priority on the move speed. You've got the Proto Belt and the Banshee's Veil saying that you'll be able to move wherever you want. Now, here we go. First proactive play from R7. Zeri ultiming very shallow. Stixay is the one who ends up getting caught. Now, other health bars are up and active. You might see Licorice go in for a fight here. You saw 1, 2, 3, 4 different ultimates were used. I'd like to see Golden Guardians press right now. Now, they're still going to feel strong, right? They shouldn't actually seed this because they still have so many tools. Aphelios is the only ultimate that was down, apart from the Vi, I should say. And there we go. Enemy team moves into River, and you get punished. Absolutely. Kennen, you're strong here. Keep moving forward. Now, that's the last ultimate, Malphite ultimate. Now, the entire team has stepped up. They got the Zeri while she was porting through. Annie Tibbers being sent over the wall. Not quite enough, though. It's so close. Gory looking for it. He's able to get the Malphite. Oh, but misses the Q. And they've got Lions stuck as well. The Q into the Smite. River taking one-shot turret. Here's the ding that is coming again. So great job by Golden Guardians being willing to hold their ground there. 4 ultimates down. Even in a 5v4, you saw, missing health bars. You saw half health on one, 3/4 on another, and 4 ultimates being down. Golden Guardians correctly assessing that they're able to stay. That is something that we do not ever see from North American teams. So that is a very, very bright, shining beacon of hope. That takes a lot, right? It really does take a lot to know in the moment, hey, we're actually still strong here. Now, here's the engage, right? You see Wukong engage. Everything's after Stixay. They get the angle, but look at that. Lions at a 1/4 HP. Lissandra at like 60%. Wukong trying to go in. This is just a mistake. It's just a punt. Now, they might be trying to bait a little bit of a clump. See how they're spreading out? See how Kennen stepped away from the Vi right there? That was actually a good job by Licorice, knowing that they still have the Malphite. And there he goes. Goes in. Boom. Everybody. Kennen looking super strong here. Oh, Rakan blocked the Q from Kennen. That's crazy. Dude, Licorice is on point with these shots. So Lissandra actually got out because Rakan dashed in front and was able to block the Shriek, and that's crazy. Now here we go. Oh my god, they still had the vision advantage. They used the Vi-Ari combination to perfection. Let's see if they go after Myru here, who is teleported into a horrendous spot. Expect them to keep going forward. Yep, knock-ups. Not quite enough to keep him from taking the passage to the far side, which means that they're going to step up and keep some turret damage, right? Look at who he's positioned off to the flank, showing up, saying, I'm going to stay invisible off to the side. I'm going to ward this flank. Malphite ult being used defensively. This game, R7 has really phoned it in. It really does not feel like they gave it their best shot. They did have one proactive play in the river. They went for it once, and now they're balking again. I don't know. It just feels like they think they've lost. So how could they get back into this game, right? You're down 8K. Well, your team is exceptional around a pit, right? Specifically, Lissandra being able to get in at long distances, engage from a long way. Wukong, same thing. He can be a cult. So what they're going to try to do is try to get vision on one of these three bushes, right? One of these three entrances around. This one is not really plausible just because of the minion waves mid and the turret mid. They won't be able to get this secure on this side. So instead, if they can get one of these three angles and hold themselves and say, hey, we'll let you into the pit, but then we'll try to collapse on you from an unforeseen angle, try to get as close as we can with the Wukong and Lissandra before you know about it, and probably try to upfront unload on the Kennen. They want the Kennen or the Aphelios to die. If Kennen is left alive, however, there's no way that they're going to survive the fight. There's just too much damage coming back to them, right? The amount of damage spraying around from Ahri, getting resets. They need one of these two champs to die up front. Aphelios, you can say if Kennen dies, at least we have a chance of killing the Aphelios as well. But, that would be on Rakan, right? Rakan to get something huge. But the tools are there. Wukong can go far. Lissandra can go far. Both of them give an avenue for the Rakan to get in. Malphite Flash ult will be up soon. In about half a minute, he'll have access to both of those. So the tools are there, right? Golden Guardians is going to have to position well. They end up getting that pick on the Lightning Mouse. Now River might be by himself, but again, they used a lot of cooldowns. Use the blast cone. Jump over. I don't want two different fights. Here we go. Consolidate. Decent damage from the Aphelios. Here we go. I would have liked to see him already be up. Now he's in position. He's got all these chakrams. Look at this damage that's about to come out. Red, white, and full stacks. Stixxay going crazy, showing why he's called a carry, and absolutely going nuts in that fight. That's what we wanted from the beginning. Maybe he was just taking himself some time to get those chakrams stacked up. But look at that. There's like 12 of them going around. And he still has it up for this next fight. So have to wonder how much prep went into having red-white guns available at that time, but definitely making sure that they are strong at that moment. There's something that these pro teams will do. They'll have very descript plays available with the Aphelios based on what guns are coming up. It's actually very interesting. He just used up the purple gun, which was next to the green, and the red was before, so now he's not going to have access to red-white as a combination anymore. But opting to keep the white gun just always in the back pocket, saying, hey, it's team fight time, white gun is the best. And really, you can pair white gun with any of the other ones, and it still has good effects. Maybe worst with the Gravitum, but saying, hey, I just want to have white gun open at all times. All right, so Baron in hand, 9K gold lead, 10K gold lead. Let's check out their technique. R7 correctly getting something on the far side of the map. You have no chance of contesting this. Now, the good news for them is they still have inners existing in the sideways. The bad news is that that's a lot of gold that's going to go into the pockets of the enemies. Lissandra is going to get something for the team here and is going to kill off another wave in the top wave now. And they're going to try to hold on to this for as long as possible. You see this ward that they tucked away behind the Gromp, right? This ward right there. That's going to be Lissandra's avenue in if they have a... They also got one super deep one behind the Dragon Pit. If this becomes a retreat of some sort, which they might do, right? This is a 4v4. Right there, you got to engage. Malphite's got to go. He missed his opportunity. All right, there he goes. Gets to the Aphelios. Everyone's engaging on Stixxay, but he just blows everybody up. Oh my gosh, the damage is just there. Holy shit. Aphelios, everybody. Love the attempt by R7. All right, great job. You got to pull the trigger. It was available 2 seconds before that. They would have had a slightly better chance at it. You have the 4v4, you have the engage tools. They afford Lissandra enough time to teleport. But basically, that was probably the difference between, hey guys, are you ready? I see it, versus just seeing it and doing it. And that's the difference in that game at the end.